Good evening, guys. It's Saturday, June 3rd. My name is Dave Coker, and this is Talking About Finance. So hello. How y'all doing tonight? This is a wonderful part of my weekend. I can speak freely. I can speak openly. I can tell you all the honest truth about getting rich. It's not about picking stocks. It's not about swing trading. It's not about day trading. It's not about buying low and selling high. All that bland, generic, banal, useless advice you get from so many other people who don't know what they're talking about. They claim to have a system, but you need to sign up to a paid newsletter. They claim to have a system, but you need to purchase a book. They claim to have a system, but you gotta pay for alerts. All this garbage, when the simplest of systems, the truest of systems, is right in front of everyone's eyes. Don't own any asset unless it pays you to own it. And you know something? Not a single one of the self-described experts, the self-described gurus, ever accept the challenge to publicly disclose their positions when they put them on. Just one of them, that's all we need. Instead, all we hear about is profits, but you need to pay them to get the tips. And it's complete rubbish. All sorts of experts offering their services, with titles ranging from PhD to professor. But at the end, it's all the same. They won't tell you unless you pay them. Not even for one position. That would convince us. It's complete, absolute, total rubbish. Simply put, they are making stuff up. In other words, as the British say, they're telling porkies. In the States, we're very direct. They're lying. So if you want our respect, tell us the ticker of the stock you bought. Tell us the date. Tell us the time. Tell us the price when you open the position. And then tell us the date. Tell us the time. Tell us the price when you close the position. We can look at your profits then. It's as simple as that. But they always refuse to do this. Why? Again, to be blunt, they're lying. I don't care what the title, I don't care what the claims are about expertise, they are simply lying. The only sure way to get rich slowly is to invest for cash flows, to invest for dividends. And we know building wealth takes time. But you know something? We can wait. Time is on our side. And speaking of time, it's now time to talk about finance. The S&P 500 closed the week up about 3.16%, a very strong weekly performance. Keep in mind, the long-run average, inflation adjusted, is roughly 7% per year. And we're going back to 1940, I believe, on that handle. So yeah, this is very, very strong for a weekly performance. 5 sectors outperformed the S&P 500. Consumer discretionary, real estate, information technology, industrials and materials. And 8 sectors underperformed the S&P 500, specifically financials, communication services, healthcare, energy, utilities, and consumer staples. You know, it was another wild tech-driven week. And some of these tech stocks are trading at excessively high valuations. For instance, looking at price to earnings or price to sales. So you've got to be careful about opening new positions, even adding to existing positions. I would be very, very careful about this. The VIX traded down to 14.6. It opened the week at 17.95. And again, the market is very odd from a valuation point of view. But if you consider momentum, it all makes sense. I wrote a research note to my investment banking clients about a week ago and pushed it through Medium, a few days ago. So go to Google News, enter Dave Coker, and hey, that's me. You'll be able to find that article as well as a whole bunch of others, because I tend to write about finance. I tend to talk about finance a lot. The 10-year note closed the week at 3.70%. It's now down about 10 basis points week on week, or about 20 basis points year to date. So just moving sideways, really. Oil closed the week at 71.94, down about 1% or 100 basis points on the week, and now down about 10.4% year to date. And longtime listeners will already know what I did yesterday. It was Friday, crypto day. So I bought Bitcoin and I bought Ripple. Again, I never even look at the price of Bitcoin before I buy. I just know it went up or down because I get less or more Bitcoin than last week. That's how you want to do it, guys. Don't try to time it, just buy. Whether you're buying every week, every month, every quarter, doesn't matter. Just buy and hold. Oh, I also bought stocks on Thursday because it was the first trading day of the month and I had collected all of May's dividends. Buying stocks with what amounts to other people's money is sweet. And somebody pinged me and mentioned it's my money. It's not really under other people's money. Well, I didn't work for it, guys. I do other things with my earnings. I haven't used my earnings to buy stocks in well over 10 years, maybe 15 years. My sister was asking me. I couldn't figure it out, to be honest. But enough about me. Now let's find out what me and my buddies, 50 or so finance professionals from all around the planet, were talking about last week. Oh, we had a good time. And in case you didn't know, we are Global Wall Street. And between Telegram and our personal networks, we know everybody. Or we know someone who knows someone. So we can get the word out. This week, we're on Wall Street. We're reporting from the city of London. We're reporting from San Francisco. And we're reporting from Mumbai. We are absolutely everywhere that matters. And because in finance, relationships matter, we keep in touch constantly on the Telegram channel. So let's go. 7 slides for 7 days. Let's talk about finance. And here's an interesting one. Now, yeah, you guys know I got a fairly large property business, and yeah. Landlords get a lot of hate, and okay, I agree with this, sort of, maybe, that you can avoid costs or avoid raising rent by making your coffee at home, I guess. Here's the thing, guys. I never raise rent on a sitting tenant. I've had people in the flats in central London for almost 10 years. I never raise the rent. I just don't do it. Part of the reason is I don't mortgage. I tend to buy properties for cash. And then I'm just looking for a reasonable return. If I get it, I'm not going to sweat anybody. I want to build a long-term relationship with my tenants. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't fully agree with the ethos that they're expressing, right? Because not all landlords raise rent all the time. But yeah. Who the hell buys coffee from a shop? My God, it's so expensive. And I always see these losers, I'm being blunt here, wander onto the train. I'm up at 0400 without an alarm. I have 2 cups of coffee and read the market news, stuff like that. I'm ready to go by 6:30, out the door. And I see these chumps wandering onto the train. They're moving real slowly, and they got a big thing of coffee, and they're sipping it. It's like, yo, dude, get up like 15 minutes early and drink the coffee, 30 minutes early and drink the coffee. I don't really respect those people. I don't know what's going on with them. But anyways, don't get me started about that. Yeah, one of our friends, one of our students, rather, I should say, from the old university I used to work at, I just got a replacement at Goldman Sachs. And so I warned her. I said, yeah, you're going to get a lot of this, right? Yeah, you're going to have a lot of new friends now who are going to want a lot of advice. And my advice is to never offer financial advice, at least specific financial advice. Stocks, bonds, commodities to buy. No. Go make up your own mind. I just advise you to buy things that pay you to own them. It's a better philosophy than trying to take tips from people. And it all gets down to how much did people learn about finance? A lot of people really don't know too much about finance when you come right down to it. It's staggering. When I was in banking, there was an MD on the equities desk. He was doing about $400,000 a year. He had a mortgage. He was in his late 50s. He had a mortgage. At the old university I used to work at, we had a guy, a professor in finance. He's got a mortgage. He's like 65 years old. My God, what a loser. Yeah, you need to kill debt. And we find that people who never really took personal finance courses, that don't really understand this, they come up with all sorts of excuses. Oh, the rich take debt out. I'm just like the rich. No, you're not. Kill the debt. Live debt-free. And finance is wonderful because you got to be very, very critical. It is not really an science, but it's also an art. It's a mix of the two. And yes, sometimes the numbers are made up. They're okay because they're allowed under GAAP, the accounting principles, right? But sometimes the numbers are literally made up. I always look at cash flow. I don't look like earnings before interest, tax, and depreciation and amortization. I really don't look at that garbage. I don't look at any numbers that have been adjusted for non-cash items. All I need to see is the cash that the company generates. And it's like that for my property business. It's like that for the stocks I buy. Otherwise, they're going to make stuff up. Be very, very careful about relying upon accounting measures, especially like EBITDA and things like that. It's really amazing what they get away with. And one of our friends actually ran into a whole bunch of cash, somebody on the channel. Now, we don't know who's who on the channel, but this individual allegedly had a huge pile of cash. I'm not going to say exactly how much. It was startlingly large, the physical pile. And somebody pushed this meme out on the channel. We were talking about it and laughing about it. Because, yeah, guys, if you watch Breaking Bad, they were buying property. They were buying businesses with cash. It ain't going to happen in the real world. Cash is a real big pain in the butt. So we advised her she's got to figure out how to declare the money legally and disclose the source and pay taxes on it. Of course, she didn't tell us the source, but it was a startlingly large amount of money, all in small bills too. That was very, very odd. But hey, who am I to judge, right? I don't know. Maybe she sold stuff at the flea market or I have no idea what went on. I don't really care. But yeah, cash is a pain in the butt. Unless you're on TV like these people from Breaking Bad, and then, yeah, you can do whatever you want with cash because you get away with it, but that's fiction. In the real world, guys, cash is a lot of trouble. You really can't do much with it. And this is interesting because, you know, again, we always see people chatting on the channel about trading crypto. God, well, why on earth do you do that? I don't understand why people try to trade at all, let alone crypto. And oh my God, altcoins, holy crap. Yeah, it's stressful. It really, really is. You don't want to be doing that. You honestly don't want to be doing that. You want to buy Bitcoin. Whoops, sorry about that. You want to buy Bitcoin and hold on to Bitcoin. And yeah, there are a lot of people that pay, that compare Bitcoin to gold, or they call it digital gold. It's got properties of gold, of bullion. It really, really does. But I don't really care. I'm not buying it for that purpose. I'm buying it for one simple reason. And I understand the technology very well. I understand the economic arguments very well. And here's a fact that's not really debatable. Bitcoin in the future will be higher than it is today. That's why I buy Bitcoin every Friday. Because I know in the future Bitcoin will be worth more than what I paid for it. Guys, we're going back to 2014. And yeah, Bitcoin I bought every week since then is worth more now. Of course, I'm sure if I look back 6 months or 12 months, I'll find some Bitcoin I bought a year ago it's worth less now. I don't care. My holding period is forever. Just don't sell Bitcoin, guys. Buy it and hold it. All right, guys, thanks for your time. It's been a wonderful evening. You're going to have a great week coming up. Markets are on fire. The Dow finished up about 700 points. Oh, a deficient index, but yeah, I love the number, I'm telling you. S&P finished very strongly, as we saw, well over 3%, 3.16%. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. Just get ready for the correction. Take care, guys. Oh, good sound tonight. Yeah, we went to the pub. We went to Camden Town, actually. Then we went to a pub up there, and then we went to a pub down here. We ate at the second pub. I got a hankering to go out again.